What's up guys, welcome to Mage. This is my personal guide for Frost Mages for patch 5.3. This is the PvP version, and I'm probably also gonna be doing a PvE version. We'll get to that later. Anyway, in this video you will see everything you need to know as a Frost Mage in PvP. I will tell you about stats, gems, enchants, how you open on your target, what builds you should use, and so on and so on. This is gonna be a great video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you do, want to thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, because that will be many more videos in the future, guys. I spend a lot of my time making this one only for you guys, so enjoy. Okay, let's start out with the talents. My build is very simple. It is not that advanced, and it's very easy to understand. I made a PvP guide for Frost Mages in patch 5.1, and there I discussed every single talent, and I'm not gonna do that in this video, because we mages only had 2 changes made to our talent system since patch 5.1. We got Blazing Speed put to our first tier, and Flame Glow replaced with Scorch. So this means actually that this actually means we got 2 changes made to our first tiers, while the rest 4 tiers are still the same. The only reason why I go with Ring of Frost is it can freeze a lot of targets, and I really love to just stay in the middle of it and just cast on my target while I'm standing in the middle of my Ring of Frost. We also got Cold Snap, which is a very effective cooldown, which restores 30% of your health and restores the cooldown on most of your useful Frost abilities, such as Frost Node, which is very important. We also got Frost Bomb, which is very important if you want to proc your Frost Firebolt very easy. You can also go with Nether Tempest, but then you need to place on a lot of targets before you can actually be able to do so. We also got Incanter's Ward, which is the most useful of all these level 90 spells. Rune of Power, remember you have to stay on the rune in order to get the bonus, and the invocation, you have to finish a evocation and you will get the bonus. So you actually have to wait a few seconds in order to get that. Incanter's Ward is either I think that's more, I really think that's better in my opinion. It's also a shield, of course. But let's just go into Presence of Mind, Blazing Speed, and Ice Flows. The reason why I've taken Presence of Mind is because it gives you an instant spell. Just like instant Frost Bomb, instant Frost Firebolt, instant Polymorph, everything. Instant Ring of Frost. Although, if you use Presence of Mind and Ring of Frost, please keep in mind that there will go a few seconds before the effect of Ring of Frost will happen. That's a change they made to patch 5.3. So you have to wait a few seconds if you use Presence of Mind first. So it actually doesn't matter that much. But I can show you a very nice rotation if you use Presence of Mind. Okay, we're starting activating Presence of Mind like this, and we got it. You can keep this forever, I guess, and it won't run out just like the rest of my buffs. Just like Dalaran Brilliance will run out in 47 minutes. No. This will stay on us forever. We can use all the time, just like this, and we can use a instant spell just like Frost Bomb. We can use all the time again to get a new instant spell. So that is actually 2 instant spells in a row, guys. That is so OP. 2 instant spells in a row. Imagine that in arenas. Oh my god. Let's go into the second tier: Temporal Shield, Flame Glow, and Ice Barrier. The reason why I've taken Ice Barrier is because it is so effective shield. Let me just use it for a moment, and I will get almost 100,000 damage I can absorb, which is crazy. Flame Glow, it sucks. It got nerfed in patch 5.3, so the spell power scale got reduced, so it is not that good anymore and doesn't absorb that much, really. It's only absorbing up to those 3,500, which isn't much. But it's passive though, which is nice, but it sucks. Temporal Shield, it is very nice. I can tell you why I'm not going with Temporal Shield. Because what it does, it gives you a shield for 4 seconds. And all the damage you're taking over those 4 seconds will be healed up over 6 seconds. Imagine if a warrior bursts me, all he can do over those 4 seconds, and the shield goes off, I will get healed for that damage over 6 seconds. So this actually means you have to wait for 2 more seconds in order to get healed up where you were at the beginning. So and during that time you can easily get bursted down. So it is not that good in my opinion. But I will still go with Ice Barrier. Eric, wake up! Oh, I'm sorry. I was a bit tired, you know. I'm sorry, guys. That was not the way it was supposed to go. Anyway, welcome back, and now we're ready to discuss what stats you need to take as a Frost Mage for PvP, of course. First of all, let's just go into the first priority as a Frost Mage. For every caster in PvP, and I'm gonna say this again, guys, get at least 6% hit chance. If you're underneath, you have a chance for you to miss on your target, and that is not good, because you can probably miss. For example, imagine if you miss on your Frost Bomb, which really does a huge amount of damage. Look at this. Yeah, 258k, and this is against a training dummy, which is understandable, but if it was against a player, it will probably crit about 80k, maybe 90 if you're lucky enough. So imagine all that damage and you will miss, and that is not good. Not good at all. So the first priority for Frost Mage, get 6% hit chance at least. If you're far above, then try to reforge some of your gear so you can get as close to 6% as possible. The second thing you want to focus on at always is Intellect. The reason why you focus on Intellect now instead of PvP power is because in patch 5.3 they made a huge change to PvP power. PvP resilience got removed from gear, and now we have all players, even though how bad gear they are, they all have a base resilience at 65%. So this probably balances it a lot more, I don't know. But they nerfed PvP power by 50% almost. I mean, I used to have over 60% PvP power. Now I only have 36.25%, which is nothing. It is nothing. My god, Blizzard, what the hell are you doing? So when I logged on the patch, the first day came out, I was doing so little damage. I was doing so tiny bit of damage. It was nothing. And I was really embarrassed though, because I crit for like 50, 60k, and I was like, damn, I don't do this normally. But I did, and it really sucks. So I had to gem all my gear again, and stats, enchants, whatever. So now you're gonna focus on Intellect as the second priority. The third priority for you to focus on is crit, and I can tell you why. Cause we mages have a spell called Shatter. What this does, it is that it doubles the critical chance of all of your spells against frozen targets, plus an additional 50%. Imagine if your target is freezed like this, and you deal a spell, you will crit no matter what. So that is really important. If you don't crit, you will not do any damage at all, so there's no point of even freezing your targets, of course. So the thing you're gonna focus on is at least 20% crit. Then it will get doubled, and that means it's 40, and then it will get and then plus an additional 50%. That means it is 90% crit chance. But we may just also have the Arcane Brilliance, which also increases our critical strike chance by 5%. So 5 plus 5, it is 10. So 90 plus 10 is 100. So you will have a 100% chance of you to crit on your target. So just focus on 20% critical chance. If you go with Molten Armor, which I don't, if you go with Molten Armor, you can only you just have to focus on 15% critical chance, because then you will get 5% from your Molten Armor and 5% of your Arcane Brilliance. So, and the fourth priority you have to focus on is Haste Mastery. Those two are also kind of important. Mastery increases your damage against frozen targets, which is also very nice. The more mastery you got, the more damage you will do to frozen targets, which is kind of nice. And your water elemental as well, and haste, which is also very effective. Example, the more haste you got, the faster your Ring of Frost will happen, just like this. If you got more haste, this will happen much faster, and you can also cast your spells a lot faster. So first priority, get as close to 6% hit as possible. Second priority, focus on the intellect at all cost. Third priority is to focus on critical chance. 20% if you don't go with the Molten Armor, and 15% if you go with Molten Armor. And the fourth priority is just focus on the haste and mastery, but mostly haste. I don't know. Okay, let's head over to gems and enchants. First of all, I just want to say, if it's a red gem, you have to go with 160 intellect with no doubt. If it's a blue gem, you either go with the 320 hit in order for you to get the required percent of hit, and you can also go with the 80 intellect and the 80 PvP power. I know it's not much PvP power, but it still gives a few intellect, which is also very good, because it increases your spell power, and the more spell power you got, the more damage you will do. If it's a yellow gem, go with either 320 critical strike or 320 haste. If you already got a critical capped, which is 20, then all you have to do is just focus on haste or mastery. It's totally up to you. But that is mostly what you're gonna do with gems. Let me just take a look. On the head we got this. On the shoulders we got the critical strike. The chest we got intellect and haste. On the let me see. The feet we got, on the boots we got critical strike. On the shorts, on the pants we got intellect and the intellect plus PvP power. On the belt we got intellect and PvP power, and we also got the intellect as well. On the gloves we also got the 80 intellect and the 80 PvP power. Okay, let's head over to enchants. Unfortunately, there's no enchants on your head, but on the shoulders you have to take the 200 intellect and the 100 critical strike. On the back you either take light weave embroidery if you are a tailor, or if you are not a tailor, you can just go with the normal intellect enchant. On the chest, 80 in all stats. On the wrists, 180 intellect. On the weapon, Jade Spirit with no doubt. On the rings, if you appear to be an enchanter, you go with the 160 intellect on each. On the boots, you go with the 140 mastery and the minor speed increase, which gives you 8% more movement speed. That's what I go with, and that is what I recommend. On the pants, 285 intellect and the 165 critical strike. On the belt, the extra gem of course, and on the gloves, the 170 haste. Let's take a look at my glyphs. Let's first start at the minor glyphs. There's only one minor glyph that you need to take, which is the glyph of momentum. What this does is that, for example, if you move backwards just like this, you will blink backwards. If you move to the left, you will blink left. If you move to the right, you will blink right, etc. So this is very effective, because you can just freeze a warrior, example like this, and just blink away and cast while doing that. That's very effective, and I do that a lot. I mean, it's so much better than turning around and blink away. That is so much better. Anyway, let's head over to the major glyphs. And I got Glyph of Icy Veins, the Glyph of Evocation, and the Glyph of Deep Freeze. The reason why I've taken Deep Freeze is because it reduces the global cooldown of the spell by 1 second. So this means it doesn't have a cooldown. It doesn't have a global cooldown at all. Just like this, you can just use it right away. So this is really cool, but it also reduces the duration of it by 1 second. So instead of last for 5 seconds, it lasts for 4 seconds. But it will get freezed much faster. For example, if I don't have the glyph on, that will go probably this 1 second before it actually get freezed. And while it's doing that, the target can probably just escape. I don't know. I'm just going with Glyph of Defreeze because it's very useful, and if you want to stun the opponent at the specific moment, you can just go do that. We also got the Glyph of Evocation, and what this does, it's also healing you 60% of your health over those small 5 seconds. So if I don't have the glyph on, I will only heal my mana. If I have the glyph on, I will heal almost 70k per second, which is kinda nice, and that is very effective in BGs if you don't have any target healers. I don't normally have target healers with me in BGs, so it's really nice just to go with evocation. And the last one I have is Glyph of Icy Veins. What this does is that it splits my Frostbolt, my Ice Lance, and my Frost Firebolt, and also my Water Elemental's attacks into 3 smaller bowls, which each deals 40% spell damage. So for example, my Frostbolt will get split into 3 smaller bowls, and each of them will do 40% spell damage. So that's actually 40 plus 40 plus 40, which is 120% spell damage. So it's actually giving me a 20% buff. So that's really good if you want to burst a lot like I do. The second last thing I want to show you in this video is my macros, of course. I have 5 macros that I use. No, 4 only. And this is very simple macros that you will probably understand quite fast. The first thing we got is the Glyph of Ice Block, and what this does, it is that it cancels my aura ice block. So this means this is kinda like an instant ice block, and you can go out of it instant again. So I can just imagine if you don't have this macro, that will go probably a second before you will actually be able to escape from your ice block, which sucks though. But if you got this macro here, you will be able to activate ice block right away, just like this, and use it again. Then click on it, just a boom boom. And it can actually also be used as a trinket, which is also very nice. That's actually giving me 2 trinkets plus my blink, which is free. We also have, this is not a serious glyph. This is just that it just yells whenever I make a refreshment table. We also got my one-shot macro, which is show tooltip Icy Veins, because that has the longest cooldown. We got cast Icy Veins and use my Kappa Press, which is this nice little cup of coffee, which increases my haste by 4,000. This is not usable in arenas and rated battlegrounds, but in BGs, in random BGs, it works, and it's very nice, and you can get it in Kunlai Summit. It's an extremely rare item that you can collect for the Relic Hunter achievement. Okay, and it's also using my item slot number 13, which is my nice trinket here. We also got the glyph, the polymorph glyph, which is a mouse over target. Imagine if I burst on this target here, which is a hunter, and I can just use hold my mouse over that target here, which is a healer. Imagine the skull is a healer and the DPS is the cross, and I can just DPS the cross while holding my mouse over the skull and just CC him. We also got the silence macro, which just stops my casting, which is also very nice. Imagine if I'm casting just like this, and I see a warlock using Chaos Ball, I can just immediately use silence, boom, right away, which is also very nice, so you don't have to move away to interrupt your cast. So that's the macros I'm using, and I'm not using more, because then it would just get too advanced for me, and I just go with those 4 very easy macros that is very easy to learn. In my last end of this is the last thing I want to show you in this video, and this is how you open on your target as a Frost Mage in PvP, of course. What you're gonna do if you are in arenas and you want to open the right way is just to go before the arena starts, maybe 2 seconds before the arena starts. Go with invisibility and you will get invisible. This makes you invisible, of course, and this will make people not to see you. So you can just sneak behind the target and get to the. If you rather want to stand here, you can just do that, and you can start open on your target. What you're gonna do is also you're gonna use your pet's ability called freeze, and then you go with deep freeze. Then first of all, we have my presence of mind on, of course, I forgot that. Then you use Frost Bomb, and then you use Frozen Orb and activate one-shot macro, and you just go with one Frost Ball, 2 Ice Lances, and then Frost Fireball will proc, and then use all the time, and then Frost Fireball, and then 2 Ice Lances in a row, and just keep pressing that, and then you use all the time again, and then you will get Frost Fireball back and 2 Ice Lances, and then you can just go with one more Frost Bomb. Okay, I opened pretty slow there, so I'm gonna do it in fast motion now, and I will show you how I burst. Enjoy. Okay, my invisibility doesn't cool down, but it doesn't matter because I'm not against anyone, just against these training dummies. And I might speak a bit too fast. But here goes, and let's just start freezing. Deep freeze and Frost Bomb, Frozen Orb, start bursting all the time. Boom, boom, boom. And that was pretty much damage over those few seconds, if you know what I mean. Reaching these targets, and pew, that's quite a much damage over a few seconds. So Frost Mages are doing great. But yeah, guys, this was my patch 5.3 guide for Frost Mages PvP. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, because there will be many more videos in the view, guys. As always, Ark here, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.